How's it going? It's me, and I'm back for another little video discussion. Now, I've been wanting to make this video ever since I saw the announcement of this, as the title suggests. I have been wanting to make a video about this. Here it is. So, Code Lyoko. Something I thought was long gone, long past, has reared its head again. And we are getting a 5th season of the animated series. It has been a long time since Code Lyoko has ever really been mentioned. I honestly cannot wait, and I am also really surprised that after all these years, it is coming back. And the fact that the fans of Code Lyoko are still very much here. Because a lot of people, a lot of media outlets, a lot of social media outlets and everything that has been reporting on this ever since this announcement was made, that we are getting a 5th season of Code Lyoko. I honestly cannot believe we are getting this. Now, it has been I think there's been a lot of problems behind the scenes. From what I can gather, Moonscoop, who was the animation team, the people that produced Code Lyoko before it finished, there was actually a couple names that have been known throughout the run of Code Lyoko, Ante Films Productions. From season 2 onwards, it was Moonscoop. It started off as a pilot called Garage Kids, which was the main pitch. So they did a fully animated episode called Garage Kids, and it was similar premise to what the series would become. And yeah, so it was a similar premise, but there was the characters were slightly different. And then we finally got the official season 1 after it got greenlit. And it was aired on Cartoon Network back in the early 2000s. And it ran for 4 seasons. It was leaps ahead of a lot of the shows that was airing at the time. There was not many shows that was offering that sort of experience where you had both CGI and 2D animation in the same thing. So on Lyoko, it was all CGI backgrounds, the monsters and everything that they fought in those areas and different zones, it was all CGI. But then when there was at school in normal life, it was all 2D animated. Apparently the season 5 is going to continue that. We are going to get actual 2D animated sequences, which are when they're in the real world, and then we are still going to get the CGI when they're in Lyoko. So they are still, hopefully for season 5, they're going to carry on that. Now, I do know Moonscoop went out of business. I believe they filed for bankruptcy. They did do technically a season 5, but the fans I don't know how well this went down with all fans, but they did try to sort of do a continuation after season 4, which technically was meant to sort of be season 5, which was Code Lyoko Evolution. Code Lyoko Evolution was just 1 season, and it was live action with CGI. And when I first heard about this, yes, I was excited, I was interested, but unfortunately, from what I can gather, they did do a English dub of Evolution, but it was never fully released. It was only, from what I can gather, you can only really see it if it's online in the public domain somewhere. It used to be on YouTube. Some of the episodes was on YouTube for a while. I don't know if they still are, but it was all in French, subtitled in English, but there was meant to be a dub of an English dub of it as well. Hence why, but obviously the show was dubbed into English, What's really interesting about this show is that it's a French animated series produced in France, and it's influenced through Japanese animation, and so basically it's meant to it's sort of dubbed as like a French anime because it kind of pulls references with the character designs and the different characters that you have, because you have a very like a multicultural sort of like amount of different characters. When Code Lyoko Evolution first came out, I remember on the website they did some behind the scenes featurettes. So they did some behind the scenes featurettes of introducing who was playing who in live action, all these young upcoming actors in France. They did sort of get the casting relatively okay for a couple of characters, but they messed it up massively with a few others. The story itself was pretty much exactly the same as what you would expect from the animated show of Code Lyoko. But Code Lyoko Evolution, obviously, like I said, the other difference was you had the live action sequences in real life. That was the only difference. And this was kind of a big final nail in the coffin for Moonscoop as a company. And I believe they subsequently ended up filing for bankruptcy shortly after the first season of Evolution. So the people that produced it kind of like productions stopped. There was meant to be more than one season of Evolution. It was supposed to sort of be what would happen next, and it was supposed to continue the story going forward, but in a live action format. And it just failed. It didn't. It got cancelled after the first season, and like I said, it wasn't properly distributed as a result because it was really poorly. A lot of people saw that in a really negative light, and they found it very difficult to find a home for it. There was meant to be an English dub for Evolution, but it just didn't happen. It was not fully released in dub format, and unfortunately, yeah, it's just been kind of lost to the ether as a result. So the fact that they've announced a season 5 that is going to be fully animated, both 2D and 3D CGI, has really surprised me, because I never thought in a million years this show would make a resurgence. All I can think of is this show has been available on streaming sites. I know Prime Video at one point had it, and I think Netflix for a short period of time also had it. So I think since it's actually been put on streaming sites, because I do know there was a little bit of a problem behind the scenes with the rights to Code Lyoko, because Code Lyoko, I believe it was originally owned by a couple of different companies, one of which obviously went out of business. So the rights ended up kind of like not being sold off, and the rights was lost. So I don't know whether, because there was the rights to the distribution of it when it came to the DVD, because I am very, very lucky to have all 4 seasons on DVD. I have always been a big supporter of physical media when it comes to things like this. I managed to, years ago, I've had them for years. I've had them for over 10 years. The 4 season box sets. I've got all the episodes of all 4 seasons on DVD, and I'm so lucky because I managed to find them. I believe I had to import them because they're Region 1. They're not UK. I managed to release all 4 seasons as a physical set, but it wasn't rolled out outside of America. As I said, I had to import them from America because we didn't have we didn't have all 4 seasons in the UK available to purchase. Back in the day, I think we only got some volume box sets. I do remember seeing the odd like volume box sets with like a couple of episodes on DVD. I am very, very, very lucky to have all 4 seasons, and I can't wait to see how this pans out, because, like I said, the distribution side, there's the rights to the distribution, And then there's the rights to the show itself. It was Cartoon Network that was the home of it when it was airing here in the UK. I remember it on Cartoon Network when we had Sky TV when I was a kid. And Code Lyoko was a big part of my childhood growing up. It was one of the big influential shows that every time I came home from school and on a weekend, I was watching Code Lyoko as well as whatever else was in that after school block or weekend block, as well as Code Lyoko. And it was, like I said, it was leaps ahead of its time with how it came over. Apparently, the original voice cast is apparently returning to voice the characters. I do know, unfortunately, one of the voice actresses, I don't know if there's more than one now, but I do know the voice actress who voiced Sissy, I believe she passed away a few years ago. Her name was Jodie Forrest, I believe. And I believe she voiced a couple of different characters, background characters, but she also was known for voicing Sissy, I believe. She passed away back in, I think, 2017. So unfortunately, apparently, according to online sources, everybody that is still here and is still actively working, that was a part of the voice cast, are returning. I don't know about the dub side, the English side. I don't know about the English side because obviously it was dubbed into English. However, it was between Canada, it was a Canadian and French dub or production. So you have a lot of the cast for the English side, they were able to speak French and also they was able to speak in English. So the English cast were actually Canadian cast or French Canadian. So that's how the castings was done. So it was like a dual language thing. For the same, I don't know if it was the same cast or it was two different casts for both French and English, but I do know it was in partnership with Canada as well as France. But apparently, according to online sources, the original cast are returning as well as the original writers. So this all came about as well from apparently there was a convention. There was some kind of convention in America, I believe, and the two creators, the people that created the show, that's where this announcement broke for the first time, and it started to make leaps all over social media. So there was a convention where the two creators were present at, and but it has been greenlit. It has been confirmed that it is happening. The original voice cast are returning as well as the original writers. It is returning back to the same formula of 2D and CGI animation sequences. In season 5, as it is going to be an actual official continuation, it's going to continue from the events of season 4. So it is going to continue from what happened at the end of season 4. It's going to continue from where that left off. So I think they are sort of getting rid of evolution. They're trying to, right, evolution was a thing, it failed, we're moving forward, apparently they've been working on this behind the scenes for a long, long time, and they've finally got to the position where they can actually announce it. But it's really great to see one of the really good shows back in the early 2000s make a comeback. I am a big advocate for animation stuff like this. There is some really great stuff from back in the day I just really love it when this happens, when it has taken this long for them to make an appearance or to make confirm this. But the fact that we are getting a continuation of season 5 after the events of season 4 of Code Lyoko, I am so thrilled. I am so happy that we are getting a season 5 and a proper official continuation of the story of Code Lyoko. Because really with season 4, they could have ended it at season 4 the way they did. I honestly think they could have ended it at season 4 as they did, because they shut down the supercomputer, they shut down Xana, they shut down the supercomputer, and that was it. They were going to return back to be normal kids. They didn't have to go back to Lyoko again, because you see that sequence where Jeremy goes down to the supercomputer and he actually shuts it down, and it's sort of kind of the way that the fourth season worked. Is yeah, but there was a couple cliffhangers here and there, but they could have ended it there. But at the same time, it felt like there should have been some more storyline after season 4. So yeah, but the fact that we are finally going to get a season 5, I don't know whether we're going to get any more than season 5. It depends of how well the reception is, I guess, or they just want to do one more season, finish the story off properly, and give us a proper conclusion to these characters. I also would like to see. I mean, I don't know if it's going to happen because, like I say, it takes place after the events of season 4, so they will likely still be around about the same age as they was from season 4, or maybe it's going to be like a year later. But I would like to see maybe a little bit of a time skip where you do see them a little bit older, maybe college years or something like that. But we will see. We'll see how it goes. I don't know whether we're just going to get the one season only, where it's going to be a proper conclusion to the story, give a proper disclosure, proper from start to finish. We get a proper conclusion, because they kind of had it taken away from them back in the day, because there was a lot of problems going on. There was issues with distribution, even though they did manage to get all 4 seasons out, but like I say, it wasn't widely released. So the rights was with a specific company. That company that had the rights to the distribution, they went out of business. Moonscoop themselves, that produced the show, they went out of business. They filed for bankruptcy. So there's been a lot of drama behind the scenes, unfortunately. So they never got the chance or opportunity back in the day to continue the story in the way that they wanted to. But I am very much still a child at heart, and I cannot wait for this continuation. Thank you for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.